Alright, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. So we have Team of the Season, Team of the Year out. Correction, Team of the Season. Just to clarify, that is probably what's going to be happening here. Is we're going to see a Team of the Year now, and then we'll see a Team of the Season once the NHL season ends. Hopefully we see that Team of the Season after April, after the season completes. Then we see Team of the Season end. We have the 3 weeks worth of whatever it is, ending around May. That way, a little bit more longevity out of the game. We'll see if that happens, but that is likely the case here. And before we jump into our predictions, we're going to go ahead here and go over a few things real quick. First of all, there are 6 winners. There's 36 nominees. Only 6 of them can be winners. There's going to be 1 center, 1 winger, 1 left wing, 1 right wing, 2 defensemen, and a goalie. So keep that in mind. That is key here because there's some really good centers in the league. But as far as I'm understanding, and as according to the article, only 1 center can make it, even though they might have more points than every other winger. So that's going to be important here. They're also going to be the highest card of the year. Even if these guys get what is going to be a +8 on their current card, say if they have 83, they're going to be a 91. Say if they have an 87, they'll be a 95. They're still probably going to be a 99 by the end of the year. Because at the end of the day, you're talking these guys, they're going to get upgrades still from, February, March, April. So if they get to a 99, this card will upgrade, almost like an Evo or Movember or a fantasy card as they are called these days. And as far as sets are concerned, these nominees can be turned into players, but again, it's going to be kind of like we see with a lot of the sets now, where you say put like an 87 overall Crosby and get the 91 Master Set one or something. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes down that line. It's something I would personally, that's the reason we're doing a prediction video talking about it, I would not want to mess with, because then you're putting your hands in, what EA thinks your nominee card's worth. So say you buy an 86, he's not going to get an upgrade. I consider that almost useless, because what if he comes to a set, but it's the 86 plus 18 gold collectibles? Like, how much is somebody really going to pay? They're not going to pay that 400k they're up for right now, or 300k for that player, if it's still going to cost them 18 gold collectibles. That worries me. That's something personally I want to avoid. I don't think it's worth taking the chance. That is just me on a lot of these nominees, if they're very, very unlikely to not get an upgrade, because they're really expensive. Maybe if you pick them up for like 30 or 40 or 50k, sure, think about it, but they're not. They're like 200 or 300k and pretty crazily expensive right now, which is why we're going to go over our predictions for each position here. Starting off with center, we have Connor McDavid, 122 points, 42 goals. This is year-over-year totals here. So the beginning of January to the end of December of 2019, not complete season, we went and found and tallied up the total points for an entire calendar year. He had 122 of them. The guy behind him, obviously, was Leon Draisaitl with 119, 43 goals. And it's going to be interesting. This is probably the biggest controversy of these predictions or event is going to be Leon Draisaitl. He's listed as a center on NHL.com. He's listed as a center on EA's game, which means he should qualify as a center. Granted, he plays a lot of wing with McDavid. He should be considered a center in this game because that's what he's listed as. If he's not, that's going to be, I don't know, it's going to stir some people up. I'm going to go out and say it, though. If he's got a center on his card, he qualifies as a center, which means he's going to get snubbed, even though he was probably the second best player in the league points-wise over the last year. Then you had McKinnon, 102, not going to quite make it. Crosby just missed it due to injury, I think, here as well. Well, maybe not. We don't know because he missed so many games. But if he did play, he would be in the boat. Not going to be because of it. So McDavid's looking like the winner here at center for me personally. Then at right wing, the toughest position of them all, I think, here. And we'll go over the 3 players I think have a chance here. Pasternak, obviously, 93 points, 16 in the postseason. One of the only guys we're really going to talk postseason about, because if you consider his postseason stats, he has 109 points on the calendar year. And the thing is with postseason stats, normally EA does not include postseason stats when it comes to, overalls or upgrades and stuff like that, unless it's, Stanley Cup card or something. But you see them factor in playoffs. So I'm going to say they don't factor it in here, and that 109 points won't matter. But it's possible because it's, for an entire year, not an entire season here. We've never seen EA do an event like this. It's unprecedented. So we'll have to, to be a scaling or a type of deal like that where we have to go out there and, learn from how they do it this year for the future years. But then it was Kucherov, 104 points, outstanding year last year, not so outstanding this year, still point per game, so he's still playing really well. But, from Kucherov standards, these guys like, 1.3 points per game last year, something ridiculously high. So he's got 104 points. And then you talk about, I think the winner here, actually, of all these 3 guys, yes, not those 2, is Patrick Kane. 110 points, 44 goals. And over the last 6 years, he's been the best player in the league. I mean, as far as points production-wise, nobody has more points than Patrick Kane. So even though he's getting older, even though we don't hear about him as much these days, he has still been one of the most dominant players in the league. And we talked about 110 points. That's more than every other one of these wingers. 44 goals up there from tallies perspectives. If it's not Kane, maybe it's Cooch. It's hard to tell, though, how much they factor in this year compared to last year. I don't know. I'm going with Kane here on this one, no. Over at left wing is Brad Marchand. An easy one here. 116 points, 44 goals. No one's even close. The closest guy even really remotely close, I would say, here to Brad Marchand is Jonathan Huberdeau, who isn't even a nominee. So not much competition here for Brad Marchand. The thing is, he's 500K, and he's always one of those guys every single year that people just don't jump on. For some reason, they just don't like. Maybe he's smaller, maybe it's because, he's a hated player in the league, but his price never goes up a lot. Like we've seen his 90 overall at 120K, 130K when it first came out. People are just not interested in Marchand. So as much as he's guaranteed a 99, I don't even know if 550K is worth it. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Maybe he spikes for a couple of days, but people are never very interested in Brad Marchand. Over at defense, number 1 is John Carlson. An easy one here, 83 points. No one, again, remotely close from a point perspective here from John Carlson. Absolutely tearing it up over there on the ice this season. As we've seen, his price is resembling that here in the game already. A lot of people are already aware of that. But second on the defensive list is going to be the tougher one here. We'll see what happens. There's Josi and there's Hedman. Now there's Josi, 66 points, 22 goals. There's Hedman, 67 points, 16 goals. Josi's got to beat in the goal department there. But the thing is, it feels like a coin flip to me. It really does feel like a coin flip. And if it is a coin flip, I go with Hedman. Why do I go with Hedman? Because I feel like he's got more value here. If Hedman goes up to a 99, it's a freaking, 6'6", 6'7" player. People love those big body guys. People love using Hedman. I think he's worth a lot more if he gets that 99. And that's the reason I would rather, if I can get him, they're both, they're both 500, 600K. There's not hardly any up, if any at all up right now of the Hedmans. But if you can get them both for the same price, I'm going Hedman, because even if he doesn't get the upgrade, yeah, that's going to sting. But like I said, if it's a coin flip and you want to buy one, then, I would go with the Hedman. Personally, really, I guess I'd say because it's coin flip, I really wouldn't want to buy either and risk the chance of, one going from 500K to 50K. That's a big gamble, but if you want to take that gamble, I feel like Hedman's that guy that can be that 800, 900K defenseman because it's a 99 overall with a huge freaking body. I like Hedman there. And at goaltender, it should be a layup. If anybody besides Bennington takes goalie, I would be beyond stunned here. Second in the league in wins right now. First in the league, tied for first in the league in save percentage. Not to mention, he carried the St. Louis Blues from January to the Stanley Cup last year in absolute dominant fashion. There's no reason this guy should not be considered the goalie of this calendar year. Those are our predictions, though. If you guys have any further questions, as always, feel free to comment down below, and we'll try to respond. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.